Welcome to Swapping Joysticks, and this is a very special TwitchCon debrief. It is 20th of July, 2022. We are streaming a day early, but if you're listening to this on podcast players or whatever you're doing, then you'll find that, that you can just listen to this whenever. But I am one of your two hosts, Ben Ostwick, aka Biggest Bennus, and I am joined, as always, by... He's in his thirst shirt. It's Ed Nightingale.
Good evening. It is far too hot. That's why I'm in this sleeveless thing. It is too hot. It's just too hot.
It's a sleeveless thing, but it's not a vest. It's very 90s. I like it. Are you going to start singing Blue? All Rise.
No,
Blue. No, those aliens weren't in sleeveless, were they? Wow. But yeah, I'm wearing...
It's just too hot.
I'm wearing my gift from TwitchCon because, well, pretty much everything.
Showing off.
Yeah, look at this. This is my free merch that I got. It says Twitch partner on it. I was too embarrassed to actually wear it in public. So I thought I'd just wear it on here, like but also because it's quite thin, and a lot of my other thin clothes are currently dirty.
When you say thin, do you mean bad quality? Cheap?
No, it's like esports blanket. It's like a football shirt. You wouldn't know what they feel like.
Oh, why would I know what that's like?
Wait, you're trying to tell me you never, as a kid, walked around in, like, I don't know, Crawley United football shirt or whatever your local team was?
Crawley?
I don't know. Where's Crawley? I don't even know where Crawley is.
Where the hell do you think I lived?
I don't know. Brentford? Is that a thing?
I do actually have a picture of me in a football kit, which I may have worn once to Saturday football and then realised I'm shit at football, so let's not do that.
Okay, it wasn't recent then. If it was recent, I mean, that could... be even thirstier than that sleeveless top you're wearing.
Look, it's hot. The fan is going. This is the most that I could possibly wear right now.
Oh my God, it's so hot. I don't think we would have done the podcast this week if it had been the same temperature as it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It's slightly cooler today. Well, no, actually, it is quite a bit cooler, but it's still ridiculously hot. I've still got a fan on me.
It's saying 21 degrees, and yesterday it was practically 40.
Yeah, I think where we are, it went up to 39. It was weird because I was looking at, just checking my watch all the time, being like, what is it? It went up to 39, then it went down to 37, and then went back to 39. I was like, Jesus Christ. We have been promised.
It still feels really hot, even though it's cooler today. It still feels hot. And then I went out, and just the wind literally felt like the Sahara was just blowing on me.
When did you go out? Because I went out this afternoon, and it was actually a really cool breeze. It was nice. But yes, it's 25 here now. But we've been promised rain. I was promised thunderstorms, and now it's saying there's a 30% chance of rain at 10 o'clock tonight, and that's it. Nothing else.
So, I mean, you talk about thirst shirt. My mum was saying, yeah, we need rain because we need Ed's annual wet t-shirt photo, and then proceeded to resend in our family chat group a series of pictures from me from the last 3 or 4 years when it's been really hot and then it's rained and I've just run out and got wet.
Well, will you be posting those in the Selfish channel for us all to see?
I could do.
Yeah, go on, give people what they want. Look at that, get the guns out.
Sure.
Yeah, so oh bless.
Okay. There's a chicken wing, maybe.
Little spaghetti twink, Ed Nightingale. But yeah, so this is a special podcast. It will be the same as the normal one, but we are. I mean, this is Swapping Joysticks. This is an LGBTQIA plus gaming podcast with a heavy focus as well on streaming, and especially this one because we've got a very husky voice. I've just noticed. We are fresh out of TwitchCon and Amsterdam. No, I'm never gonna do that again. I apologize. But yeah, and also we can't do tomorrow for reasons, but we're going to be doing it today, and I think everybody is recovering from a weekend of debauchery
if they're even back from Amsterdam, because the travel situation is still ongoing. There are still people who aren't even back yet. It's wild what is going on in that airport, that train station.
Yeah. Can you get the ferry? You can get, no, is there a ferry from Amsterdam to the UK? Because I feel like that was that was the wise thing to do.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think we still got a couple of people in the community that are still on their way back. I know that Geeky Cassie is currently on a train coming back. And this is Wednesday. And the con finished on Sunday. But yeah, so
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be mad at like an extra day in Amsterdam because I do love that city.
Yeah.
But
I can
we
see why.
did have a planned extra day on Monday where we went round and saw lots of the city and had stroopwafels
Oh.
and had a lovely boat tour in a greenhouse.
Yeah, so should we go through what we've done this weekend
Sure.
in chronological order? Yeah,
chronological.
right.
Okay.
So we left your house at...
So we woke up at 5 in the morning.
We did wake up at 4:45 in the morning, and weirdly I didn't hate it because I woke up at 4:45 and was
Really?
like, well, I woke up at 4:45 and was like, I'm now going to Amsterdam. So I was excited.
I woke up in a fluster of what's the time? Have we missed the alarm? No, we're good.
Yeah.
Now, give me coffee.
Yes, you had coffee, and then proceeded for the entire journey to be like, where can we get breakfast? Where can we get breakfast? Luckily, we got a nice breakfast in St Pancras. After our first train was cancelled, oh my god, the travelling has
that
been
was a panic.
An absolute nightmare. Yeah, we went to Croydon. They're like, oh yeah, no, we've cancelled this train just because there aren't enough staff. Oh, all right, okay, cool. Luckily, they were for the second train, and it wasn't too bad. Got there, and yeah, went to a really, really nice French bakery in St Pancras.
Called Paul's.
Paul's. All right, Paul. What is it? Paul.
Paul.
Yeah. It's really nice.
Paul's for
if anybody,
baguette and a coffee.
If anybody is going to St Pancras anytime soon, and you want a good croissant, you hit us up.
Oh my god. That almond croissant was quite possibly the best thing I ate all weekend.
Well, it was stuffed with almond juice.
Oh, I love almond juice.
A Paul baguette in France literally changed my life, says Liz. Liz knows about it. Liz knows about it. Oh, is that a cough?
It's a dry throat from talking, don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, Saint Pancras. Pancras, not pancreas. Which I used to always call it. Yeah, so we went all the way then to St Pancras and through security. And would you like to have a little word about the French security guard?
Ben, there are no words to describe the French security guard.
I mean, to be honest, he wasn't
Apart
even
from hello.
Bonjour.
Unfortunately, I got ushered. Bonjour, mais oui, monsieur. But unfortunately, I got ushered to the other aisle, so I didn't get. He did not check my passport.
Here's Ed objectifying cops. You're literally thirsting after cops, Ed. I'm going to cancel you now.
Yes, he was a very attractive, blue-eyed French monsieur with some tattoos and a very serious look in his eyes. He was judging people's pictures, and he could judge me all he likes.
Yeah, I mean, not my type, but I would have made an exception. We went, then we got through, and then the first person we saw, very, very, very briefly, just waving as we walked past, was Mike Baz.
Indeed.
So it was lovely to see Mike there, and then we were straight on the train, and oh my god, air-conditioned Eurostar trains with leg room-ish kind of. They're the best. Well, they were very comfy.
There was no leg room.
The person in front, because we sat at like a table seat, but the table was about as thin as a computer keyboard. It was very strange. Yeah, so we did that, and then I had to sit opposite a couple of girls who kept moving, which was very annoying. Like every time they move, like because your legs are pretty much interlocked with theirs where they're sitting. Like every time they move, you get kicked or you have to move as well. Very annoying.
Indeed. And then we were in the car next to the restaurant.
Oh my god! Yes.
And obviously there were some Brits there, probably on a stag do or something, who decided to spend the entire journey, instead of in their seats, in the cafe area drinking, screaming, laughing really loudly.
Oh my god, that guy's laugh. That man's laugh.
Right? So
It literally laughed like that.
I was sat trying to enjoy Triangle Strategy, and I could
No, you
still hear
didn't.
them
Oh, you
laughing.
did. Yeah, that's what it's
I
called.
did enjoy it.
No, no, I'm
I
trying
could
to think.
still hear them laughing over my earphones.
Oh. It was literally just like, ha 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 ha. It's like Basil Brush. But yeah, and he was there, and it was like from 8:30 in the morning as well. They were drinking just constantly.
Yeah, Brits abroad, standard.
Yeah, typical. Yeah, it was embarrassing. But yeah, what happened to the poor girl opposite us?
Well, she was heading to Brussels, and about 20 minutes after we passed Brussels, she asked Ben, "Oh, when do we get to Brussels?" No, no, babe. Brussels was back that way.
Yeah, because she was like, "Are we in Belgium?" I'm like, "Yep." And she's like, well, "Yeah, when's Brussels?" And I was like, "It's the next stop." Oh, so it was the last stop. And she was like, "Oh, we're coming up to it." I was like, "No, it was the last stop." I didn't say it to her face, but I was really tempted to be like, "You literally got out of your chair to let the other girl out at Brussels, and then you sat back down, and yeah, carried on." So,
I mean, do you not get on a train and think, right, there's only 3 stops? There's Brussels, Rotterdam, and Amsterdam. And I know it's got to be the first one. So if the train stops moving, maybe I'll think about getting off it.
Well, the thing is, the train back had an extra stop in Lille, and I wonder if she takes it quite regularly, and then maybe there's that stop in Lille is more common, and so it's like the second stop. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, she had a very long journey. Because she told us she was going to, where's the other place? Antwerp. Was it Antwerp? Yeah. And we literally, and she realized that she needed to go back to Brussels when the train was driving through Antwerp, which was like, yeah, she's like, I just want to get off here. Nope, had to go all the way to Rotterdam, then all the way back to Brussels, and then a train to Antwerp.
Indeed. But we made it to Amsterdam, and then we had a lovely lunch with one of my old friends from London.
Oh, what a lovely guy.
Who now lives in Amsterdam as a drag artist over there. And we had a very nice lunch, which was good, and he helped us to buy some metro tickets.
So apparently in the Netherlands they have open sandwiches.
Yes.
Which are sandwiches but with one piece of bread.
Just a bottom, not a top.
It doesn't work.
Why? Where are you going with this?
Always need. No, you're the one that went there. You're the one that went there. He's like, so is beans on toast Dutch?
No.
Are you?
No.
Yeah. What about cheese on
open
toast?
Sandwiches are pretty normal across Northern Europe. You realise that, right?
Really? But how do you hold it and eat it if it's open?
You don't. You eat it with a knife and fork.
That's just confusing. That's not a sandwich then.
It's not. It's not really a sandwich.
That's like a bad pizza. It's like a cold, weird pizza.
Sure.
That's yeah.
Just hold it like that.
Like a taco. A bread taco. That is what Dutch pizzas are like. That's weird. That's weird. Yeah. Brenda in the chat, very offended. She's like, are you offended at open sandwiches? Oh, wow.
Just shove it in your mouth.
Yeah. Well, and I did, and it was actually delicious. And it was the world's, to be honest, it made up for it. It could have been a normal sandwich, but they just made the bread like twice as thick. It was the world's thickest slice of bread.
I mean, to be fair, it was literally that thick.
Yeah.
Just like, cut that in half.
It was like on a mattress. It was great. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it was very, very bougie, that place.
Anyway, let's get to the con. So we went down and checked into our hotel, which was a disabled room, which for some reason, which meant that we had the world's biggest shower, which was amazing.
I'm trying to think. I booked it, and I'm pretty sure I didn't say that either of us were disabled. But anyway, yeah, they gave us a really, really, really nice room.
Yeah, randomly.
You could fit at least 16 people in that shower, apparently. Hypothetically.
Who said that?
Me. Could be 16 people in there, hypothetically.
Did you count the spaces? Or?
Yeah. 4 by 4. Me, maths.
Good.
Yeah.
Anyway, then we went and collected our passes for the con and met lots of wonderful people who were sat outside getting sunburned.
Yeah, they were all sat on some steps. And I was like, again, we went to them. So lots of people from the community were there, and I loved it when I went up there. I was like, okay, so what are we doing up here? They're like, oh, I don't know. How long have you been here? Oh, a few hours. Luckily,
we did get a nice picture of everyone in height order though, so that will be shared.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Who took that photo? Because that's one of the ones I.
It's on my phone. Don't worry.
Ah, yes. I don't have that one. Since 11:30 a.m. says Capt, they were all sat there doing nothing, and we got there at what, 4 o'clock?
Yeah. To be fair, the queues were huge to get passes because they were really pushing for everyone to get their passes early, and I think there was a problem with the QR code, so they couldn't read the QR codes properly, so there was a really long backlog. By the time we got there, it was super quick.
Yeah, no, it was literally, I think you beat me, but it was there was no queue. There was maybe 5 people in front of me in the partner line, and then I'm guessing you just went straight to the front.
Indeed.
Yeah, so got our passes and then got to meet the one, the only Money Does stuff, as well as a bunch of other folks as well. But like, oh, it's so good to see. I mean, I could go and find the photo as well and name everybody that I've been speaking to and stuff for that, the last years and years, and then we finally get to meet them in person. It was incredible.
It's like, oh my God, you actually exist, and you've got legs, and you could just like hug everyone. It was the best feeling.
Yeah, it was the best. Yes, and now we can't have any hugs. Well, just just the people that live nearby. It's yeah. But what about you, Ed? What was
that was the height order picture.
Okay, so this is the one
that I don't think it's probably not gonna focus.
No, not really. But who was there? Should we get some shout outs?
Oh my God, loads of people. There was Mike, there was Moni, Ismar, me, Jake Chu, Ninja Koala, Wibble, Halunky's friend, who I've totally forgotten the name of.
Halunky's friend, that's all his name.
Halunky's friend, Cheesy, Halunky, and you.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we waited for Cap to go before we took that picture. No, Moni was not the shortest. Yeah. So Ronin. Yeah. But yeah. So
and then we went back to a hotel. We had some drinks, and chilled out. And then you went off to the partner party.
I did. Yeah.
And who did you see there?
I went to the partner party, which was this really beautiful area behind the con. It looked like some kind of hunter's lodge. Like it was all wooden and like with big glass windows, and also with like a beach. So it was like a hunter's lodge next to the beach because they had a whole sandy area, which was not ideal in trainers. So I quickly scooted over that and through. But yeah, there was an open bar, so I was planning to go for like the last hour just to see some people. And then someone messaged me like, oh, it's really good and there's an open bar. So I went there within like 15 minutes of that message. Got there, got to see some great people. I got to see Josephia, who I have spoken to for a while, and got to see them. Sealburn, I met Sealburn on the way in. So we, because you don't want to go in alone. You don't want to, look like a total loser. I mean, I am. I stream on Twitch, but no, I didn't want to be, I didn't want to appear as, uncool as going in to one of these on my own. So yeah, we went there and saw some wonderful people. Got to see Evo, Cypher of Tier, Radders. It was a real pleasure meeting Radders after, watching her and reading your interview with her. Well, do you want to explain to everybody who Radders is?
Radders is why are you asking me to explain?
Because you've interviewed her.
She's a really wonderful disabled streamer on Twitch.
And as featured
and where does she live, Ben?
You want me to bring out the embarrassing story?
Of course.
So I was talking to Radders and also talking to Radders' partner. I'm not sure if husband or not. Sorry, I didn't check. I think they did say, but my memory's terrible. And I noticed he had a bit of an accent, but I didn't think anything to it. And I didn't say anything offensive, but I went to him and I was like, "Oh, have you ever been to Amsterdam before?" And he was like, yeah, I'm Dutch. So I was like, oh, God. So it just shows how little I know. Yeah. Like, I know Radis and I've read it, but I don't really know that much about Radis. So, yeah, I just
Because
know it from
Radis
your article.
is British, but she lives in the Netherlands, so it's a little nearby for her.
Oh, it got even worse. I was like, oh, and then I said, because Radis was there as well. She saw the whole embarrassing exchange. And I was like, oh, and do you live here or in the UK? She's like, oh, I live here. I said, okay, I didn't know that, and I feel like a bit of a fool. I also got to meet. There are many amazing people I meet, but one person who really stood out as just being 100% delightful and an amazing human being. Cafe Ella.
Don't, because she's one of the few people I didn't get to see.
If you are not following and supporting Cafe Ella, I don't know what to say. Just an amazing, amazing human being, and just she's incredibly sweet and lovely on her stream. She's like that, and even more in person as well. Really, really easy to talk to. Just a wonderful person.
I love Ella.
Yeah. So
and
yeah, and that was
Mia Byte as well.
I did. I saw Mia. I also saw Fulham, who is the streamer that joined me for Mindraft, the first one, with CPK and Sips, when we came second in the UK for Twitch Rivals. And he was there because he was the following day, he was going to be participating with CPK in the in-person Twitch Rivals event. And apparently they came second, which was awesome. And they qualified for the final, but I'm not sure exactly where they came then. But that was pretty awesome. But yeah, that was the partner party. There were definitely other people like 8-Bit Dylan and stuff that I can't remember, and I'm going to be like, oh my God, of course, that person was there. But yeah, no, it was really, really, it was beautiful. The food was nice. I'm not going to say delicious. It was nice. They had some swordfish, and then they had some Twitch desserts. And I had this beautiful chocolate mousse, which I spilt down my shirt and onto my conference pass. So my conference pass has this nice little kind of greasy stain on it. From when I spilt chocolate mousse at the partner party down it.
Wow. Meanwhile, a load of us non-partners went out for some food, which is very nice. And then we went to a bar and had some drinks, and we all got to hang out together, and it was great fun. And then you dragged all of those partners to where we were.
Yeah, I was like,
carried on drinking.
Yeah, because nobody else really knew where to go. And I was like, well, I'm going to go and see a lot of people I know in a random gay bar. And they were all like, well, we want to come. So a bunch of us went there, and yeah, threw some shapes. Is that what people say nowadays?
No.
But it was awesome.
So that was Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saturday was day one of TwitchCon.
It officially opened then. Also, I'm kind of gutted because apparently there was the Loot Cave had like a special partner opening thing on Friday, so partners could go in and buy their stuff before the general public went in. And yeah, I had no idea.
I mean, there was the partner party, there was the partner Loot Cave thing, there was the partner lounge, there was a partner meet and greet.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Did you get anything out of these things, Ben?
Free alcohol,
apart from a free t-shirt,
free alcohol, and some cake, some mousse, chocolate mousse.
Great. Push for partner, everyone.
I mean, that
cake.
Definitely. If you are a partner, like some of the benefits are definitely things when you go to TwitchCon. Yeah, and nothing for the partner of the partner. That's true, May 9. No +1s.
A stain, exactly, Tom.
I wonder if anybody else
became Twitch partner and came away with a stain.
I'm sure a few people in the partner party stained their clothes that night.
I bet.
All those, egos, me included. There's a really cool guy who was streaming yesterday, probably still streaming now, called, let me go and bring his name up so I don't butcher it and say the wrong name, Ray Dempto, who is the largest IRL streamer in Amsterdam, who goes out and just chats and smokes weed. He introduced himself to me and came up and we chatted.
Is that TOS?
Yeah, if it's legal where you are. Yeah, so just legal where you are. And I had a chat with him. Very, very charismatic guy. He has got this awesome streaming like backpack. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Having like a streaming backpack and just doing IRL stuff going around. I had a look at how much they cost. Fuck me. Like $2,500, $3,000 starting
So is that
from.
like a computer in a backpack, basically?
Kind of, but also built in with like obviously 3 or 5G, and because you need a SIM card for it. And but I was like, my big PC gaming rig with like a 3080 cost about about that. And he's just got all this is doing is a camera and like OBS or whatever. Some of the features and the effects that he has in his stream though are incredible, and I'm going to try and steal them once I work out how he does them. That's great. But yeah, sorry, Saturday.
Inspiring. So yeah, so then we went for breakfast with Moni, which was delightful.
Wow, you don't sound too enthused. Just delightful.
Moni was delightful.
My favorite comment was because I was going to go down to breakfast with my I Love BB shirt, and you were like, you are not wearing that. A, it says I Love BB, and B, you just don't wear your own merch. And you said that sat next to Moni, who was wearing a Geek Herring t-shirt. It was pure comedy. You just like looked at her and went, oh.
Well.
I don't think she wore it after that.
No, Moni wore it for the rest of the day.
You shamed her.
Sorry, Moni. Anyways, we did that, and then we went across to the con and watched the opening ceremony. Which was, we were not in the main theatre for it, but they had it all up on screens. So we watched that. There were some new announcements.
Have you written about them?
In the process. So there are some things that we already knew about, like I've totally forgotten what it's called now. But
Raid.
You can join. No, you can join other people's chats. And it had a special name. So you can basically join your stream with somebody else's, like co-stream something.
Yeah, like a co-streaming invites or something like that.
I can't remember what it's called, but we knew about it beforehand. What they did talk about was some changes to raids. So you're now going to be able to customize who can raid you. You can set an upper and a lower limit. You can set and I went back and I watched this properly today, so now I know the details. So you can do the upper and lower limit. You can set whether, like, the age of that account. So is that an account that's just been created, or you can set it to, this account must have been created over 30 days ago or something like that. And then you can choose if you want to be raided by followers only, by people that subscribe to you only, people on your friends list, all those sorts of things. What they're also going to be adding is a feature where you can share your banned account list with other streamers. So whoever you've banned, like if you've banned a lot of bots, you can then share that with other streamers, and then you can then go through and ban those yourself. So some really nice extra safety features, which is really nice. And then they talked about some other bits and pieces. A couple of people were given partner on the stage, which was nice for them.
Including one that a few people here, I think, know. One of the music streamers.
Oh, yeah. I've forgotten their name.
Yes, but congratulations to them. It's no easy feat becoming a partner at this time. Like, post-pandemic, anybody that... I mean, obviously the pandemic made it... there was like the bubble of everybody being home and watching and stuff. So I feel I have like extra respect to anybody that's managing to get partner now and managing to get numbers over 75 and build on that, because it is not easy.
There was her, and then there was a guy who's done some stuff in esports. I presume because he was wearing an esports t-shirt.
Well, what? So if I wear I've got an esports t-shirt.
No. So we watched that, but we watched that in a really cool room, which was the first room you go in, which was all branded with Twitch. It was sort of lots of cubes, like colored cubes everywhere, and in the center there was a DJ booth. There you go, Katie Flaxey music. There was a DJ booth in the center where they had like music,
loud techno music for most of the con.
Yes, where there were loads of people like dancing. Oh my god, look at me, I'm a street dancing. It's like, no, absolutely not. Um,
There's Ed's catchphrase for most of the weekend.
yeah.
Absolutely not.
There's a little museum in the corner that had memorabilia from like famous streams, which was quite nice. There were some arcade machines in another corner.
One of the memorabilia was Lando Norris's race wheel, and it was posted on the Formula One subreddit, and people pointed out that there were like a bunch of typos in it. And apparently he hated that wheel as well.
Great.
And they said,
well, that's probably why he gave it to Twitch.
Yeah, people joked that he gave it to them so he didn't have to use it ever again.
Good.
Yeah.
Off that was the Twitch Rivals arena, which we didn't actually go in.
No.
But they were doing various esportsy things in there. Clearly not of interest to us.
Well, I mean, they didn't invite me, so I couldn't.
So out of spite, you said no.
Yeah, no, but you had to be there for the times that it was active and stuff, and it's not something that you can just wander into. So I didn't really bother with it.
Yeah, there was a lot of Minecraft going on there.
Oh god.
Then there was a passageway that took you past the loot cave, where you could basically just buy a load of branded Twitch tat, if that's your thing, and give Twitch even more of your money.
Yeah, I love that.
Not that I'm cynical about that whatsoever.
But that was also the corridor where there was a nice breeze, so it was very nice to walk through there.
Was there?
Yeah. I think the air from the giant conference hall or the exhibition hall went into the opening area and it kind of got funneled through there. Yeah, if you want to get your Twitch sippy cup or, what do you mean tat? Money bought you a beautiful
did buy me
badge.
A very nice badge, and thank you to Moni for that badge. It was lovely.
And I also stole her carrier bag as well. But yeah, a lot of people were buying the Twitch t-shirts, especially the one with the Pride thing on it. I saw a couple of t-shirts that people were wearing. One that was the Pride one with like the colourful Twitch logo. But then I was at the airport. No, sorry, the airport. I was at the train station, and also there was a person on there who had like a really kind of. It was a really, really nice t-shirt with just like a very small Twitch logo on the side. I might have a look out for that one because it looked really good. It looked very smart, which is unusual for kind of memorabilia.
Mm. And then that took you into the exhibition hall, which was the sort of main room, really, which was just lots and lots of branded stalls. There was a load of stuff from Amazon because obviously here's our latest Amazon Prime show. Nothing to do with Twitch, but sure. There was a big Sega booth, which was sort of limited entry, but they had some booths with some new games. I saw Mia did a stream of
2 Point
Campus. Which was cool, and they were selling cocktails there, which was
you say
nice.
You saw, but you completely missed it.
What?
Her stream.
I saw on Twitter that she was doing it.
Oh, okay, that that counts.
Yes, that definitely counts. And next to that was Team 17's booth, so they had some smaller indie games that you could.
Ed wasn't allowed in there.
Shut up. It's not true. And then there was a NYX Cosmetics booth, and we don't like that because the security guards were really mean to people.
Were they?
Yeah, the security guards there were basically sort of looking at sort of femme presenting people, being like, "Oh, you need to smile more if you want to be in here."
What?
Yeah, and we're just really awful.
Well, I hope there's some repercussions for that.
Yeah, hopefully. There are some tweets going around about that. There were also some was it Stream Elements? I think they were there.
Yes, they were. Dono was with them for a bit.
Yep. There was some sort of other esports speed running thing that was going on. There was a meet and greet at the very back where you could queue up for however long to see your favorite streamers, and a food bit.
Evo was there.
And some other stuff.
Evo, Mia. We know some people that were there.
Some of our favorite streamers were there, but there were also a load of little Minecraft brats that you could queue for 3 hours to go and say hello to.
That had queues longer than, when everybody was stockpiling toilet roll. They were huge, those queues. And I recognized a couple of them. The outside food bit was quite nice. We had some.
Yes.
Was that the day we had pasta, or was that the second day?
It was the day we had pasta.
And was that the day that poor Miko spilt all his pasta on the floor?
It was. I don't think we should talk about that.
I was just eating, and then Miko was standing up, and I was like, and just saw lots and lots of pasta on the floor.
Don't call him out. Poor
It was
guy.
funny. We like some kind of slapstick comedy. Like,
Schadenfreude, that's what you're talking about.
dropping your lunch is always funny. You know, didn't you used to laugh at the school canteen when somebody would like trip and the food goes flying?
Yeah, when you're like 8.
Some of us never
Clearly,
grew up.
you did not grow up of that mindset.
No.
Um,
My name is
So was
from
that, and
my
then-
Twitch name is from Monty Python. I appreciate slapstick humor.
Next to that then was the exhibition hall was the Artist Alley, where they had lots of artists from Twitch selling their merch, which there was some really nice stuff there.
And the Lego thing.
Yes, there was a Lego thing, so people could build little blocks of Lego and they were making it into a big Twitch logo. That was quite cool. What else was there? Then there were various panel rooms and theaters that they had different things showing. The Glitch Theater was the main big one. There was another one that we went in a couple of times called Nom Nom. I don't know where they got these names from.
Is Nom Nom a brand? Because I know twitch.tv/Nom Nom is a thing. Is it like a sponsored Nom Nom? Let me see. I'm just gonna
That's
Google.
a very good question.
I just typed Nom Nom in and it's weird things.
Fine.
Hmm.
I think that was most of it, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the Nom Nom Theatre, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
They didn't do a good job of branding if it is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, to be fair, the whole thing was very well branded. There were like Twitch emotes everywhere, Twitch branding everywhere. So it definitely felt like a Twitch event, but I feel like Twitch didn't have a lot to do with the actual content of the con as a whole. The con as a whole is for Twitch streamers and their community to meet each other. And that's the prime thing, whether that be at a meet and greet or whether that just be going around doing whatever they're doing. Twitch themselves actually don't have that much involvement, I think, in a lot of the content, especially in the panels. They chose the panels, but the panels were all pitched by streamers to say, "Hey, I want to do a panel about this," and then Twitch chose which ones they wanted, probably based on follower counts. So, shall we talk about the panels?
We willing to say apparently, yeah, so the things and the rooms and stuff were named after Twitch global emotes, which makes sense. Like, because the Glitch Theatre isn't Glitch an emote?
No.
Yes, if you type in Glitch, there's Glitch Cat, Glitch Lit, Glitch NRG, all these things. I'm Glitch. There. So, lots of Glitch things.
Oh, is it Glitch? Is the name of the Twitch logo?
Is it?
Yes, I think their logo is called Glitch.
Why? It's a weird thing. It's like a chat thing, but has 2 lines in it. Is it like an eye? I don't actually. Yeah. Sometimes you look at a logo and go, "Why is it that logo?" I can see like the chat comment. It's like a speech bubble. But why the cat eyes?
Who knows?
Hmm.
Okay. Well, it was well branded if you know Twitch.
Yeah.
Which apparently we don't.
No, I've only been streaming on it for 5.5 years, but
no, exactly. So, what were the panels like for you, Ben?
Well, shall we talk about the first one that we went to? Because there were some that were fantastic. There was
I went to 3.
I went, yes.
2 of which were good, to be fair.
Events. Well, should we say including events as well, like in shows?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because obviously it was the drag showcase. But yeah, the first one we went to was called an LGBTQIA plus chit chat. Now,
That
if you
wasn't the first
saw,
one.
wasn't it?
No,
What was
the
the
first
first
one? Was the PR one.
No, that was a really good one. Yes. Okay, so let's start
was.
with the good one. Yes, we went to a PR one, which is all talking to people about how to communicate and contact various publishers and PR agencies when requesting a code. Yeah, this one was mainly just focused on, when you're asking for a code and how to communicate with them and how to deal with other companies, because it is a scary thing for a lot of people to just go and write something out of the blue to somebody and say, "Hey, can you give me this?" There's a lot of anxiety behind that. So yeah, there was a lot of really good, useful advice in that, and that was with our lovely Geeky Cassie. I say our lovely. She has appeared on our on this podcast. So we had Geeky Cassie, and there was Fern, and
Sarah?
no, Gosh, I actually have it on you. Well, tell us how it was, and I will bring up because I do have all their names.
Well, it was your PR people that you know. So they were basically people that work with streamers,
My
so sort
memory's
of community
like.
management people. But yeah, it was some really helpful advice for people. There was a good crowd at that one. Cassie was hilarious and sassy as ever, which we all love to see. But yeah, that was a good panel. There was another one the following day that we'll talk about in a bit, but yeah, there was the creator camp room that had a lot of stuff to actually help you with your stream, but a lot of the other ones were Steph. There you go,
Steph, that was it. Wait, I've got it here. Yes, so it was with Fern, Steph of Anime, who was streaming earlier. Go give her a follow. And Geeky Cassie, and presented by Jake Kolgowski from Dead Good PR, who I've worked with before. They were great.
There you go.
They're really friendly PR company.
So that one was good, but then later in the day, we went to an LGBTQIA2+ chit chat.
And I thought, a nice chit chat. What is it about? It might be something a bit more light, but also, LGBTQIA+. It's definitely, well, it should be like, inclusive, telling people, what would you imagine that would be? Talking about experiences as streaming as LGBT plus, get like a range of voices, speaking about kind of hate you might have received, how you've dealt with hate raids, which are happening still, and maybe, your identity on Twitch, speaking to people who have a lot of experience with that, maybe introduce somebody that is quite new to it, has just recently come out, see how their experiences are maybe different to what all, creators who've been around for a long time on the platform are. That's what I was expecting.
And to add to that, this was the only panel with LGBT in the title or any kind of representation in the title of the panel. This is the only one. Hence why a load of us went and we were like, great, this is the panel for us. This is the one that is going to be, that we're going to feel included in. We're going to feel part of this. We're going to feel represented. We're going to be like, yep, totally get why they've done this.
And you can probably tell from our tone
that was not what it was. What it actually was 6 little Minecraft brats who had barely come out, probably don't actually stream with the LGBTQIA2+ tag or any queer tags at all, talking about their experience of playing Minecraft on stream with their cultish little followers, screaming and shouting at every single little thing they said.
Can we, let's do a little practice. So if I was a Minecraft streamer, which I used to be.
Oh my God, you just scratched your nose. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Biggest Bennis. And I like guys. Although we've got a few more gifts for the enough gifts for the rest of the year. Yeah, they would literally fart and everybody would scream and chant. It was a lot of very, very, very famous Minecraft streamers in their community, and a lot of people saw. I think 95% of the people in that theater, which was completely packed, like they had to close the doors 5 minutes early.
Most rammed that theater was, like not a seat left.
And the Num Num Theater was like the second biggest after the Glitch Theater. And 95% of those people had looked at who was presenting and had gone. Whereas the other 5% had looked at the name of the of what it was and had gone. So yeah.
Yeah. And so they just barely talked about anything that was relevant. The privilege of, I'm a massive streamer with millions of followers, and therefore I'm not affected by anything negative when it comes to my sexuality. I just get cheered. Like, just the privilege of that was awful to see. One guy had literally barely come out 2 months ago. So how he was even on the panel when surely that the lineup was decided a while back, I don't know. And secondly, just had nothing of use to say because I just don't feel like his experience was relevant, having newly come out and saying, oh, it doesn't affect my stream particularly. Like, my parents have been really supportive. Okay, great. Well done.
Yeah, it was 6 people like that. And it was nobody that like has struggled to grow and had come out at the start, and had then, developed. It was just everyone with the same experience. Yeah, everyone's been supportive. And yeah, and then just thousands of people or hundreds of people screaming and
There was
clapping.
nothing about whether it's safe to represent yourself on stream or identify on stream. There was nothing in terms of advice for other people about how to stay safe, or no criticism of Twitch's support, nothing about abuse or harassment or hate raids, anything that would have been completely relevant to the rest of the LGBT community on Twitch. We got to the questions, and the very first question was, who did you all marry on Stardew Valley? Which is a really, really thrilling question to ask them.
But the second one wasn't much. How many people? Oh, wait. How many people answered that first question?
Oh, all 6 of them answered that question. No, only not. I think 2 of them hadn't played it, but they still answered the question because they were willing to give their opinion on Stardew Valley despite not playing it. The second question was then about hate raids and saying, what's your experience of that been, and how can we help to stop that? Only 2 of them bothered to answer that question, which both of their responses were essentially, yay mods.
Yeah, literally both of those that answered, and it was only 2 of them that answered, yeah, because none of them have had experience of hate raids, so they've no idea what it is. They only came out, a couple of months ago. I don't know about their content, whether they, mention it or it's part of their identity on Twitch, but they don't receive hate raids for it. So yeah, only 2 of them answered it, and literally both of them said, can we get a round of applause for the mods?
And their willing fans obliged, as they are wont to do, because they were mindless. Maybe. I'm sure they were lovely.
Yeah.
The next question was then, what's the difference between Twitch and YouTube? I'm sorry, you're at TwitchCon. You don't already understand that, you little twat. What the fuck?
Yeah. It was infuriating seeing that. And then there was another question that was nothing to do with it. It was, I mean, if they'd marketed it differently and there had been a panel on people receiving, people from a minority community, no matter what it is, but there just wasn't. This should have been marketed as like an LGBT chit chat with your favorite Minecrafters, or a Minecraft LGBT chit chat.
It was titled wrong. Had it had Minecraft in there and been less obviously focused on LGBT, that would have been fine. But then they still would have needed another proper LGBT panel. Like, there are so many queer streamers on Twitch and so many interesting and insightful people that could give some amazing advice to people on how to be safe and how to best represent yourself on Twitch. And there was nothing of that.
I could name 30 people who would have been great on a panel like that, and I know
anyone in this chat.
Yeah, barely anyone.
All of us.
Yeah. So I did a little rant on Twitter. I don't know if I did. No, I think I kept it on Twitter, but I had a little rant on there, and we spoke to somebody who works for Twitch as well, and they had heard that feedback, and I said, I will make it my. There will be a better panel next year. And if there isn't, I will make sure that I kick up a fuss, and hopefully there will be. But I mean, obviously, it sounds like I'm really, full of myself here. But no, I'm going to make sure I will kick up a fuss, and hopefully they'll listen and try and get other people on board so that this does happen, because it's a really, really important thing. There's so many of these creator camps and various panels that give great advice about, speaking to publishers or how to improve your stream or growing your community. Why isn't there one on tackling hate raids or as expressing yourself, expressing your identity, these type of things? Why isn't there one of those that's
not
on
a single
Twitch?
Panel was about safety, and I just feel like that is one of the most important topics on Twitch. It's full of people putting themselves out there online. How do you stay safe? Whoever you might be, you're going to get trolls, like harassment, abuse, and nobody wants that. But no matter who you are, you're going to get that. So that is one of the most important things that should have been addressed in a panel. And there was not one single panel about it. And this is where I get frustrated that Twitch isn't as involved in TwitchCon as it should be, because had Twitch set up their own panel with people from Twitch who organize the safety and all those features and say, right, if you want to be safe on Twitch, these are all the features and tools that we've put in place already. Here's some stuff that we're looking to sort out. Ask us anything. And the thing is that they probably don't want people asking them anything. And I also appreciate there's a slight element of they can't talk too much about safety in public in terms of new features, because then people will find a way to get around it. And I sort of understand that. But that really, really needed to be addressed somewhere in this convention.
Yeah.
And that's when I get frustrated that Twitch wasn't involved, Twitch wasn't represented, aside from that opening address, and then here's Twitch branding across everything. But other than that, TwitchCon is for and by streamers. It is not by Twitch. And that's what I found most disappointing about the entire weekend.
Yeah.
I will also add as well that there was the drag panel on Sunday, which I guess people would assume, with it being drag, not all drag queens are queer, but you would assume that, with that being about drag, that would have been, again, a more LGBT focused panel, which it was, but it was also on at the same time as the closing ceremony, which was quite frankly homophobic.
Yeah. Insulting. Yeah. And obviously Twitch, obviously Twitch has the final say on which panels are accepted and which aren't. And I'm sure there might have been, well, if there weren't, I'd have been concerned if there weren't any panels like, focus on safety submitted. I mean, that may have happened. But also, if surely as Twitch, as somebody that's organized this and has put in hundreds, if not thousands of hours of, human work in preparing for this, surely they could have just had somebody go, let's check that we've got panels on these things so that, there are places where that we can cover it. So they should have reached out.
What are the key topics that the community has issues with? What are the key things that are trending? Let's make sure that we cover all of those things to make sure that our streamers actually feel heard. But what they actually did was just highlight the small percentage of streamers with huge communities that, yes, amounts for a lot of people and a lot of ticket prices, because they want to go in and queue up for 3 hours to meet their favorite streamer, be that some Minecraft person or Pokemon who was there or whoever else, and they want to pay to go and see that. But then if you think about all the other streamers out there, all the affiliates, all the non-affiliates who are out there who are still streamers and want to go to TwitchCon, a lot of which maybe have, less than 20, say, viewers, but that accounts for a huge proportion of people on Twitch. They are just as important as the 1% with massive followings. But everything was geared towards, let's go watch these massive streamers play Minecraft in Twitch Rivals, and people can queue up for that. And let's ignore all these other people who are struggling and want to be heard, who want to be discovered on Twitch, who want to earn the right amount of money from Twitch, who want to feel represented through Twitch. Is there anything for them? No.
Yeah, you can't imagine them.
The more I talk about this, the more angry I'm getting.
Can you imagine them? Yeah, I can't see them putting the Minecraft panel on at the same time as the closing ceremony.
Yeah, they would never do that.
No, I mean, the drag panel was on the front page of Twitch and it had 1,000 viewers, which for the front page is very, very, very low. It was just disappointing. But you know what?
It means, as Moni said, what it probably really showed us is that we're a piece of dirt on a massive window, and our Twitch experience is basically not at all what all around Twitch is about. And I completely agree with you, Moni, but I think that's why, there's that graph that sort of is flat and then suddenly goes up. Like, the big streamers have that huge audience, and that accounts for a massive proportion of Twitch. But there's still a lot of us all in probably our own little bubbles. We still exist. We still count. We still have opinions. Represent us. Give us something. Don't just expect our ticket price.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure that a lot of us will make sure that there is one next year. And if it's rejected or anything like that, there'll be a fuss.
Indeed.
But they have heard about that panel. Whether they'll act on it by making sure the panel next time, if there is a panel next time and it's different, or whether they just say, no, we'll just make sure we name them better, remains to be seen. But we've spoken to quite a few people at Twitch this weekend, and I think a lot of people did. And there are there are lots of really great people there who do want this change and do want to make it a better, more inclusive space. And those people are hopefully going to get their way. And once you make contacts and you get to chat to them, you you want to, you can see that they want to help people like us.
Yeah. Well, add in as well, we went to another panel that was also about contacting PRs, that was by Holly Bennett, and she is community manager at Frontier. She used to work at CD Projekt Red. She also used to be on PlayStation Access. So she was basically a video journalist and now works in the sort of PR side of things. And she did a really, really good chat
Presentation, yeah.
On contacting PRs, how to get codes, how to get sponsorships, just a really, really comprehensive sort of set of instructions, basically, which was brilliant. So
it was gripping. Like you could have heard a pin drop the entire time, like that she was presenting.
Sat there making notes, like, yeah, this is everything I need.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was filmed or streamed anywhere, but if it is, then go find it, or just go follow her because she's amazing.
Yeah.
And then, as I mentioned, there was the drag panel on the Sunday evening, which was brilliant. It was Dona, Aubrey Wodonga, Cookie Dough, Marshmallow, and then Evo as host, who talked about their experience as drag queens on Twitch. We know them all. We love them all. They're amazing.
Everyone in the audience loved
really
them
lovely.
as well. That was like a little community meetup, to be honest. It felt like not little bit, like it felt like everybody in the theater there was just having a great time. I mean, as part
just
of the community,
really, really supportive, which is what you want from that kind of inclusive space.
Yes. But it would have been nice for it not to be at the closing ceremony and have people who are going like, oh, what are we going to do for an hour? Oh, there's a drag panel. That'd be interesting. Should we go see it? And have people open their eyes to, drag on Twitch, rather than the people there. I imagine the majority were there specifically because they're like, oh, we love drag queens on Twitch. Oh, we love this. They're not necessarily going there just to see what it's like out of curiosity, because the closing ceremony is on and people want to see that.
Yeah, exactly. But on the Saturday night, with nothing else at the same time.
So yeah, that was Sunday. This is
in the main Glitch Theatre. The big end to Saturday was the drag showcase, which was amazing. Was over 60,000 people were watching, between who was in the theatre and who was watching it streamed online. It was those performers I met, as well as some others whose names I've totally forgotten. There was Hungry, who's amazing, who does makeup for Bjork, which I did not know when I saw her earlier in the day.
Yeah, we literally saw her.
Definitely would have fanboyed them.
Yeah, we literally, yeah. Oh, and I mean, this was presented by Dona and Nikki Stones, and one of the people that have, there's many, but one of the people who've really shone this TwitchCon is Dona. Like, yes, I have never seen somebody just so natural with a microphone. They are just incredible. Hire them. Just hire them for presenting things. Yeah. It is unbelievable just how talented they were, and just I was cracking. The dry humor, my sides were cracking from laughing. It was hilarious. And if you haven't seen it, go and watch the VOD on Twitch. It is like an 8-hour VOD, so you have to kind of scroll to find it.
Yeah, what they've done is basically one VOD of the entire day of the Glitch Theatre. So from the opening ceremony, just everything in the Glitch Theatre throughout the day. And yeah, the drag showcase is at the very end. So you've got to scroll to the end of 8 hours. But it was brilliant. Heather Fetish was the other one, who was also there.
PH.
Heather Fetish with a PH. They were all brilliant. And what's amazing is that some of them were queens who weren't on Twitch before the pandemic, but were performing in clubs and bars and are known as performers. But, because of the pandemic, they ended up moving to Twitch and doing gaming streams and also performance streams as a way of sort of maintaining their drag. And then you've got other queens who started through game streaming and have never performed on stage before. And this was their first time in front of 60,000 people. And they all did so well.
Yes.
And the audience were incredibly supportive. Everyone was cheering, having an amazing time. But also a lot of the people in that audience had never seen a drag show before. So that was their introduction to a drag show.
And apparently a lot of people,
that they got that at TwitchCon.
Apparently a fair few people went to the drag panel as well after seeing the drag show. We heard from the questions that were asked there, and people commenting were saying yesterday was the first day that I saw a drag show and I had to come to this panel.
So that was amazing.
Yeah.
I think in all honesty, that that drag showcase was the highlight of the weekend in terms of TwitchCon itself. And I think was definitely a talking point for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
The queens were wandering around elsewhere as well in full drag. So people were coming up to them, chatting to them, saying how amazing they were. Everyone we spoke to was like, how good was that drag showcase?
That was the first thing.
Yeah. So they did a brilliant job. Donut also had an extra panel, or I guess event, which was some cake decorating, which I think most of us who were there were at. We all got to decorate a cake.
It was like another friends meetup. We're like, yo, I know all these people here, and yeah, decorating a cake with cocks.
Of course.
Well,
I recreated your Ed emote on mine.
You did. It did look a bit like
it didn't come out very well.
It looked a bit like a cock at the start, and yeah, apparently mine. Well, as soon as I realized that mine wasn't going to win, I was like, okay, I'm going to start eating it because I know that there's time running out. So I managed to eat 3/4 of a cake in about 10 minutes, which gave me a real sugar rush. Gotta say.
I bet. I bet.
You can see pictures of that. Well, I will be posting. I've posted lots and lots and lots of pictures. I kind of documented my entire journey from leaving the house to arriving home. A few days later on Instagram. So if you go to my Instagram, Biggest Bennis, click on the highlights of TwitchCon, and you can just scroll through pretty much everything, including the donor cakes, including your cake, and various other things that we've spoken about. You also got to meet the one, the only Lady Dimitrescu.
I did. I almost forgotten about that. Yeah, there was a trans cosplayer who was wandering around as Lady D, who I think her heels weren't actually that high. She was genuinely just really tall. But yeah, I think Amanda and a couple of other people have said like, oh my God, Ed, you need to find her. And then I saw her, so I ran round, and everyone kind of just walked up and had a nice picture with her, stood next to her, and I just walked up and was like, will you step on me? And she was like, absolutely. So I kind of knelt next to her, and she goes, you're gonna have to get lower than that. It's like, all right. So I properly lay on the floor. She stepped on me. It was excellent.
Yeah. Amazing. That was great.
What was the music as well was the crowd of people around me also taking pictures like, look at that idiot on the floor being stepped on. And I was like, why is no one else asking for this?
Yeah, and they're like, and then they'll load of pictures. Everyone's like, yeah, that's that guy from Eurogamer. No, sorry, that's the guy from Swapping Joysticks. I can't believe he's down there. Yeah, I just looked over and you were on the floor. It is now my
pinned tweet.
Yeah, I looked over and you were on the floor. I was like, okay, I'm not going to ask. Because that's when we were meeting a bunch of people that we'd known. Yeah, just looking through a few of the pictures as well. Yeah, there was the went up to the Twitch partner lounge. It was very hot up there. But there was a guy there who works for Twitch. He's in the partnership in Scandinavia, the Scandinavian Partnerships division, who I've known for years and years and years and years, like literally since 2017. And yeah, I got to meet him because for people that know or don't know, when I first started out, I was very heavily involved in the Norwegian Thunder Boys community and got to know loads and loads of Norwegian friends through there. And he actually got them partnered as well as somebody else through there. In fact, there's a couple of people that I know through there. So yeah, just being able to see people like that I've known for well over 5 years for the first time and just have a good old chat in person, have a few pictures was awesome. And also, I was standing there just like walking around, and the co-founder of Twitch was just wandering around like aimlessly. Not aimlessly, that's I'm gonna get banned if I say that, aren't I? No, he was just wandering around. Like, you could have probably grabbed him, but I didn't realize until he'd walked past me who he was. But he was just kind of walking around with a drink in his hand, just looking around, seeing who was there. It was yeah, I quite like that. I appreciate that.
I think what we should say as well is that the real highlight of TwitchCon was meeting everyone.
I mean, that's the number one.
First time in years that we've had the opportunity to, and there were so many of us who have never met in person and were finally able to meet, and that just made the whole thing worth it.
Yeah.
No matter what TwitchCon itself was like, if some of the panels were disappointing or the con was maybe a bit shallow, it was still really fun to go to, and it was incredible to finally just meet everyone.
That was the number one reason to go. There were some other reasons as well, like not necessarily reasons, but things that I wasn't there planning for, but I got some incredible careers advice from a couple of people and had some really great conversations about various features that we're planning, which I'll tell you about at some point soon. But like, yeah, the number one reason any of us in this community anyway, we're there is just to finally meet each other after what we've gone through with the pandemic, which is still ongoing, as many people have found out, is just like, yeah, like my mental health just took a huge leap this weekend. I'm very, very social. That's one of the reasons why I twitched, because I was living in Barcelona in a little village. Well, I say village, it was a city, a small city outside of Barcelona, and didn't really have any friends there. And I started streaming because I was like craving social interaction with people, and yeah, being able to then meet so many people after years and years and years of getting to know them was so special.
Absolutely.
And I had a little tear in my eye when I left.
Oh.
Then my sun cream got in it, and it made it really painful. Then I looked like I was even more. And we've even got Rosie Rabbit in the chat, who is somebody I've known. I mean, I can just bring up when did she follow? September 2017. Which, so some people have known for years and years and years and years. Rosie says, when I found Ben, he was talking to himself, little social butterfly. Yep, when Rosie found me, I was just me. It was just me. I'm streaming to my bot.
And now we get to walk around and you get your partner badge and we can meet everyone and just hang out. It's just the best feeling.
It really was. And I've taken a video as well of a little tour of the conference center, and I will speed it up because it's 20 minutes long. So if anybody wanted to know what it was like inside the con, I will post that.
Well, I think it'd be nice if you edited it. Edited it a little.
Oh, I will edit it a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it'll still be one move, one.
And maybe put some sound effects on so you can't hear our chat as we go around.
Yeah, you said something rather rude about those Minecraft streamers that were at the meet and greet.
I would never do that. How dare you?
Yeah.
So we'll get that and pop all your pictures in Discord.
Yes.
And we'll find a way of putting those all together so that everyone can reminisce.
Honestly, if anybody hasn't seen it already, but in the Discord we've got the TwitchCon photo dump where everybody was just posting stuff from the TwitchCon like as they were. You can literally scroll back to like Wednesday, Thursday, and just go through and see everybody who's documented their time with pictures. And also Moni has quite a few folders of people's photos from it. Nincompoop Simon says, I was so happy meeting people. I ran up to some people like a happy golden retriever.
I think all of us were just puppies for the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, ah!
Yeah. Yeah, Moss says, I'd leave the rude commentary in, but that's me. To be honest, it wasn't anything ruder than what he's just said on this podcast. So, I mean.
I may have used a 4-letter word that I won't repeat on stream.
Arse. He said arse.
But then we had an extra day on Monday to go around Amsterdam.
Yeah, we're trying. What did we do on Saturday night?
We went first to the press party, which was in Central.
What do you think of that?
A few of the ambassadors were there, so we got chatting to Ready Set Ben and Mia and Radders.
And they made you an accidental cocktail that was actually really, really nice.
It was very nice. So that was nice, and we met some of the Twitch team. And then we went across to a party that was put together by Kepler Interactive, which looks after a number of different developers. And that was more of a sort of industry type meetup. But again, like Cassie was there, Ebonix was there, Ben came with us, Dona was there, Luke Boogie was there.
Dona was great. I just sat there because this was after the drag showcase. So I was like, Dona, you were amazing. And then 5 minutes later, Dona, you're incredible. That's pretty much how most of the conversations were going.
Yeah. So that was nice. And finally we had a bit of food and some more free drinks.
Oh yeah, I found some chips. I don't know where they were just kind of like stuck somewhere near the back. So I went and grabbed everybody some.
Yeah.
They weren't being handed out, by the way. I just grabbed them and you ate them.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
That's fine. I hope it was mayonnaise that you put on them.
Yeah.
And then we were aiming to meet everyone else central, but unfortunately, it is impossible to get an Uber in Amsterdam. Who
Yeah.
knew?
What
Who
is it?
knew?
I don't understand. Apparently, do they use something different?
I think there is a different app that tends to be used more often, but all we had was drivers getting 2 minutes away and then cancelling, 2 minutes away and cancelling.
No. So yeah, Mr. Will says now your rating is just met. Well, interestingly enough, on Friday night we were trying to get an Uber and it took Ed forever to get one, and then I just went on and got one immediately because my rating is 4.96. Oh, shall I see if it? Oh, was it 4.93?
And how often do you use Uber?
Not very often. In fact, shall I check it and see if I've?
Not that I use it that often.
Shall I see if it's gone down this after the weekend?
Like, ugh, bloody foreigners.
I'm on
bad rating.
Oh, I'm 4.94. That means it's gone down.
Oh, you've gone down.
How can it go? How can it go down? It's 4.94. Is that good though? I don't know. You can get boat tickets. Oh yeah, the Uber boat in London, isn't there?
So yeah, Ubers were hard. So we ended up basically getting an Uber. We're thinking, let's just, rather than going into town and then back out again, let's just head back to the hotel. It was already super late. And
they picked that up quickly. I think it's because it was a more expensive journey. Maybe that was why.
Probably, yeah. Probably. But the thing is, I think where we were, it was probably only a 20 to 25-minute walk to where we needed to get to. But it's just, you know, a city at night, I never feel particularly safe. Especially if it's somewhere, I mean, I wouldn't in London that I know, but even somewhere I don't know, even if it's a safe-ish city and smaller, I wouldn't want to risk that.
Yeah, Money says, you basically stood us up, you cunts. Wow, Money. It wasn't that bit. I mean, it was like, what, 1 o'clock or so, or nearly 1:30. And we're like, well, if we go and pay for an Uber to get into town, £10, whatever, €10, then what if they're there for like an hour and then we have to, wait again for an Uber all the way back home because there's no way you can walk back to the hotel from there. So it would have, but then people ended up staying out till about 3 or 4 a.m. But then on Sunday, we were as fresh as daisies, if that's a phrase.
Exactly. And therefore we could enjoy Sunday without being hungover.
Exactly. We're sensible.
And then, yeah, after the con on Sunday, we went and checked into a different hotel. We had a nice fish meal.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, we were invited
fish platter.
A bunch of, because we were going and checking in the hotel, we separated from the main group, and I was like, "Well, don't worry, we will come and see you. We'll come. We're not gonna like disappear again like we did on Saturday." But Money was like, "Come to this vegan restaurant," and instead we went to a steak restaurant, and they said that.
They were closing.
So we went next door to the fish restaurant. We gave a right middle finger to the vegan restaurant.
We did have a massive platter of fish and seafood that was amazing, to be fair.
It was really, really nice.
So that was nice.
And
then we went and we got drinks with everyone, which was really lovely.
And a nice little chat with I had a chat with a waiter about Max Verstappen, which was fun. You were so awkward when I was having a sports talk with the waiter.
I was not awkward. I understood everything that was said. Thank you very much. I've seen Drive to Survive. How very dare.
Yeah. And then we had a great time that night. And yeah, being around Amsterdam, it's just beautiful. We went on the boat tour.
We did, which was lovely. And I think I've done 2 boat tours now in Amsterdam, and it is the best way to see the city. Like, you get to go around, you can see so much of it from the canals, which is amazing. It's just that on the hottest day, that thing turns out is covered mostly and literally like just floating around in a greenhouse.
Yeah, in a plastic greenhouse, sweating on these fake leather seats. And then every now and again, like, you would have 20 minutes of no breeze whatsoever, then the boat would turn and you get a little bit of a breeze because of the angle it hit the wind for about a minute or two, and then it would just disappear again, and you just sat there sweating. And I had this pale blue shirt on that was not forgiving, but luckily, like, as soon as I got off the boat, as soon as I got off the boat, you were like, oh, actually, it's not really, 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 really hot. So your body then cools off and there's no sweat. But they were very, very, very... it was very
genuinely
warm.
like one of the best ways to see the city. Like, they're great to go around, and it was I think it was only like €10 or something.
Yeah, I had no money paid for it. For God's sake, money.
So yeah, oh yes, the +1 picture. Thank you, Gary, for those masks.
For those who didn't know, Ed went up to the room to get something, and when he came down, about 16 of us were all wearing Ed masks with a little +1. It was an amazing picture. Go to my Instagram; it'll probably be up by now. Or just go and look on the highlights. But there's a very unimpressed Ed sitting down with like 16 people.
If you can spot me,
yeah, see
if you can spot me,
it's literally the same face. Yeah.
It was huge. Yeah, it was a huge picture in my head. So yeah, then we had a nice wander around the city with Moni, took lots of bridge pictures. We had some lovely stroopwafels and some lovely cocktails in the heat. This big, massive, freshly made. Yeah, it was lovely. Just a really, really lovely little extra day.
It is a beautiful city, and we didn't do any like museums or any tourist things, so that just gives me enough of a reason to go back, which I definitely will.
Yes. Well, I mean, our Eurostar was journey back was interesting.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a really easy journey just to to get there and back on the Eurostar. Really easy. It's just 2 trains literally from where I live. So, what happened on the journey back?
Well, it was all going smoothly. There was no one sat in front of us. We had legroom until Rotterdam, where some people got on. The poor woman in the cafe was really struggling because the Wi-Fi is really spotty in and out of all the going through different countries, in and out all the tunnels. So she was trying to use the card reader, and the queue was all the way around of people trying to pay, and she just couldn't get people to pay. So that took forever to get food. And then we had to do an extra stop in Brussels because there was a technical fault with the train. Now, whether she just had enough and was like, done with this Wi-Fi, get a new train, or whether it was the heat, or whether it was something else, but we had to have an extra stop in Brussels.
And this is karma.
We had to get off and literally change train. And the guy basically on the tannoy was like, "Oh, we're going to come into platform 1, so you'll need to swap to the train on platform 1." Everyone was like, "What?" Yeah. And then he came back again and was like, "So you're going to come into platform 2, so you need to swap to the train on platform 1." We were like, "Definitely get."
He just kept repeating it. He's like, "Yeah, it was going constantly like, so yeah, so he'd say one thing and then repeat himself by saying the opposite, and you're like, well, which one is it?" And then there was people in the carriage going like, "What is it? 1? Is it 2?"
And we were hoping that they'd be right next to each other on platforms, but no, you got off this side and had to walk all the way around, like down to the plane, all the way back up again. Train, sorry, all the way back up to get on it again.
But I think this was karma because I don't know if people had heard, but apparently this was on the news like around the world as well. Schiphol Airport has been horrendous. Like not only have a bunch of flights been cancelled over the last few weeks, but they have had 4-hour queues for people to get through security and like boarding. It has been a nightmare. So we were gloating most of the weekend, being like, "Oh, glad we didn't go by plane. Glad we didn't go by plane."
It wasn't so much gloating as just
relief.
Oh, I'm relieved, yes, that at least we didn't book that. So hopefully our journey will be easier. But yeah, we had this extra change in Brussels, and then before.
Oh, who did we see, by the way? Who did we see on the train?
Oh, Dona and Dona's partner.
Poor Dona had to open up their entire bag, and because the security were looking for their scissors in their makeup, and apparently just like went through all their luggage and then was like, "Okay, now you go and put all that back together and go."
Yeah. Jess is asking what the cost difference was. The train honestly was cheaper than the plane when we were looking.
Oh wow. Yeah, it was about 220 or something like that, 215, I think.
Around that. Then we had an extra stop at Lille because you just do on the way back, apparently. And then just before we got into the tunnel between France and the UK, there was suddenly a tannoy of, "This is an urgent request. Is there a doctor on board?" It was like, what the fuck?
I thought this was during the tunnel because it was dark. I'm pretty sure that was.
Or maybe it was during the tunnel.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh shit, what's happening on the actual tunnel?"
Yeah. And so everyone's like, oh no, what's happened? Why is there a doctor? Why do they need a doctor? So everyone's like looking to see, like, is
Yeah,
anyone
because it was
running
the
down the
next.
aisle? Like,
Well, it was the next carriage from us, so
Baywatch
it
style.
was the next carriage from us, so everybody was like, and we couldn't see anything,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And then about 10
Well.
minutes later, there was another one of, are there any diabetics on board? Because could they please bring their insulin or like medication with them? And everyone's like, oh no, someone's had an experience.
And then
So
like
then a
four
couple of
people,
people
yeah,
like
with their
were
little
running
lunch
up the aisle,
boxes.
yeah, with their injections in them. And so then basically once we got into the UK, it was like, right, we've got to do an emergency stop at an extra station. We had to wait for an ambulance to arrive. And we did see this poor woman being taken off in a wheelchair. So I do hope that she's all right. But it's pretty frightening when you're sat on a train and suddenly it's like, is there a doctor on board? You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. And obviously with the UK being as shite as it is, where with funding the NHS, we had to wait like 30 minutes for an ambulance. I mean, there's a whole train, the whole Eurostar.
Like 15, Ben.
Wasn't it 30?
We're about 15 minutes at the station. They'd obviously called ahead, so it probably took
30. That's exactly what I was. Exactly. It was we were there longer than 15. We were there a while. We'll say 23. Meet in the middle.
Sure. Pick a number.
But we were, yeah. But yeah, no, well, I thought it would already be there because it was quite a while from like, is there a doctor on board to us actually arriving at the station. Apparently they have
that was a while, yeah.
Yeah, apparently we do have, there's a priority list and apparently it's like they need to be there within 20, 25 minutes or so if it's priority 1, and apparently an emergency on a train is priority 1.
I mean, it's obviously that person needs help, but also there's a whole train full of people that need to get somewhere. And that the poor guy, the guy opposite us, was trying to get up to Birmingham, so he needed a connecting train, so he was panicking about it. And then he was Dutch, and there was a Dutch young woman opposite me who was laughing about our chat about ambulances and the poor NHS and stuff like
that. And then we set off again and finally got to St. Pancras. But
I'll let you take this one.
So yeah, we were just pulling up, and as we were pulling up, well, not really pulling up, it was about 5-10 minutes away from St. Pancras, and a young girl, she must have been like 20, 21, young blonde, like just stood up and was like, "Can I have everyone's attention, please?" I'm like, okay. And then goes, "Has everybody been having a great time? Has everybody had their great journeys? I'd just like to say, we need to be so thankful for what we've got. There's a woman who might have died tonight. And I want us to put our hands up and celebrate and accept Jesus into our lives." And, oh my God, yeah. And started preaching about Jesus to a bunch of people that were very tired, had changed trains, we'd made unscheduled stops, various things like this. And she's like, "Can I see a show of hands? Can I see a show of hands?" Ed, what hand did you put up? That one, yes. Ed put up a hand, for those on the podcast, prominently showing a certain finger, and it wasn't the thumb. So, yeah, it was... Yeah, no, it wasn't a dare. It was genuinely somebody who was...
It's the way she was like, "Please put your hands up," and I literally just put that like really slowly
it was like
above the seat. And you were like, "No, Ed," and I was like,
"Yeah." I was like,
take my finger.
"Oh God, Ed." Yeah.
I'm
finger's mine.
Sure Ed said, "Not on my atheist train." I think when we were waiting at Amsterdam, I heard some people talking about like Bible readings and stuff. So I think she was probably from that group.
Oh God, yes, they were.
Yeah, so I think she was probably from there. So I think it was completely sincere.
So there was a bunch of What is that? Jehovah's Witness or something like that? Yeah, because the person was saying like blah 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 about, "Oh, I'm going to include this in my sermon." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
I mean, shut the fuck up.
Look, if
don't push your religion onto other people.
Be religious, do what you want. That's great. But when everyone is super tired and just wants to get home, do not start preaching to a packed train of really tired, hot people.
Don't preach to people who don't want to be preached to in a place where they can't leave. I mean, People go, oh god, yeah, what? But like, can you imagine the reaction if it was somebody from a different faith?
Well, exactly.
So just, shut the fuck up. Let people live their lives how they want to. Fuck off again.
Whipple says, this is where you bring out the rainbow flag and wave it in their face. I think I might have shouted, I'm gay, I'm going to hell anyway at one point.
Yeah, I think you
but
said that.
I don't know if anyone heard me.
Yeah, I heard that. But yeah, when she started, people were just, you could hear people not very happy with her. Just like, oh, sit down.
Yeah. And then we got off the train at St Pancras, and then there's a long wait for trains back in the UK because of the heat wave. All the trains are delayed and the tracks are screwed. So like a 20-minute journey took us well over an hour to get back home. So we got home a lot later than we had intended to, which was
yeah. Well, despite all of that, it was only like an hour or two late in the end. It was just a very, very eventful journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, because luckily when we changed train, there was a train already waiting there, so we just had to quickly get off and on again.
We've got a whole like £23 of compensation that is a voucher we can use on another journey.
Which is like, that's why I tried that. Put my ticket number in. It was like, please enter your ticket number. I was like, so I put it in. I was like, no, please enter your ticket number. I was like, it's literally there. You say you want 6 digits. You've told me where to find it. I've put that exact thing in there. There's no spaces or anything like that in it. This is exactly what you've asked me for. And you're still asking me for the ticket number. But that was on my phone, so I might try it on desktop and see if it's any better.
Oh, yeah. I did it on desktop. It worked completely fine. And then it's like you're entitled to like 23 quid or something.
Yeah.
And they just send you a voucher that you can, as a code. I mean, it's got a year on it, but you can take that off a future journey. Yeah. So whoop whoop. Let's get back to Amsterdam again. And then we can meet up with everyone again. And rather than do TwitchCon, we can just all hang out in Amsterdam and have a wonderful time.
Big shout out, speaking of Amsterdam, hanging out and nights out and stuff in Amsterdam. A huge shout out to Marge Mello, who performed not only incredibly well at the drag showcase, but also at a bar. What was the bar? Yes. I can't remember the bar, but at a bar. Taboo, yeah. And it was, you can see you could see how talented they were in the drag showcase, but in like the place where they thrive, which is in like quite a small crowded bar, they just had everybody lapping it up.
Yeah, also with the proper version of Pussycat Dolls React, because at the TwitchCon, they couldn't use the originals because of DMCA. So they were all cover versions instead. And but you got to do it with the proper version, which was nice.
And yesterday,
and I've had that song in my head.
Ed, how many times yesterday did you play it?
I might have had it on repeat all day, but that's fine.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, I'm going to go into the living room for a bit. And you just started playing it. And I was like, okay, I like this song. Yeah, it's a good song. Then I went to the living room and I could hear it for like a good few hours. You had that on repeat.
It's a great song.
Yeah. I mean, I like songs and I listen to them maybe 6 or 7 times. I mean, 3 hours is quite a lot to be playing one song.
So you do 6 or 7 hours. I will do
6 or 7 times.
Oh, I'll do like 6 or 7 days of one song on repeat until I'm so sick of it I can't stand it anymore. But I have to just listen to that one song and just get completely obsessed with it.
That's why you know all the lyrics to songs.
Yeah.
Well, well, we know what's going to be top of your Spotify most played at the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. And how was the other drag performer at the night? Because there were a few, but we didn't get to see all of them.
Oh.
But how was the other one that we saw, Ben?
Well, the other one reminded me a bit of you. So they were doing these amazing moves, getting down on the floor very quickly. And then
she walked. Get on the floor very quickly.
And then she walked along the bar, and as she got to the end of the bar, lifted her leg up to do like a standing split, and wasn't wearing anything under her skirt.
Oh.
Well, except for there was like a little, if anybody's ever seen the Crystal Maze. So when you're in the Crystal Maze, you have to go, where I'm going with this. You have to do a little challenge and you get the crystal at the end, which is like this little small glass ball, but it's like a crystal. She seemed to have got one of those and she was clenching it between her butt cheeks. But then when she lifted her leg up, it didn't fall out.
That's got a butt plug, Ben. God's sakes. She had a butt plug up there.
And she was doing she did a whole performance, dance routine and everything with a little, little kind of
with a butt plug
with a
up her ass.
a wine stopper up there.
Just say what it is, Ben. It's a butt plug up her ass.
Yeah, she had a butt plug up her ass. Perform.
She lifted her leg and it glinted in the lights.
Yes. It was quite something. It was yeah.
It was excellent. It was very entertaining.
Yours doesn't have the little thing on the end.
I don't own one. Thank you very much.
That's some Gwyneth Paltrow goop ass shit. Not ass shit. That'll fire.
There was no ass shit.
What if you fart?
It out.
What if you fart and you end up like taking someone's eye out?
You don't fart in the middle of a performance. Well, unless you'd have lifted a leg, farted it. Shooting
oh my god! Just imagine doing that on like a dartboard and managed to get it right. Oh, that would have been a talent.
Wow.
Go see your local drag shows. They are the best.
Support local drag queens.
Yes, and see people with butt plugs. Speak for yourself. I'll be crop dusting all you hoes, says Rosie.
Went to a drag show, lost an eye.
Yeah, that'll be my drag name, Rosie Rarebits. Went to a drag show, lost an eye.
Surely someone's got rarebits in Wales in their drag name.
Rosie Rarebits.
Surely.
Yeah, that'll be my drag name, Rosie Rarebits. Rosie Rarebits gave me pink eye. Well, this has happened. Yeah, this has gone around. The Ben, yeah.
So that was Amsterdam.
So yeah, that is Amsterdam.
TwitchCon.
To be honest, I was expecting worse after his stories about Amsterdam, but yeah.
We'll have to go back.
I need to I went and clicked through a bunch of the stories to make sure I didn't miss anything, but I don't think I've only uploaded pictures from the first day, like the Friday, so there's a bunch of other ones, but yeah. There's a great picture, a great meme picture where Moni is giving me the finger and you're going, which you'll have to check out. It's very memey. Yeah, and we had a beautiful a beautiful photo of loads of us near the TwitchCon logo, and some arsehole decided to crash it. So I hope that person caught, everything at the con.
And had a shit day.
Had a really, really bad day. Yeah, I'm just quickly looking at it. Yeah, we didn't go to the sex museum. Apparently that was bad.
Well, I think Sunny went. I mean, I've done it twice, and it's quite fun to have
sex
picture with. Oh. Yeah, I've done sex twice, and it's quite fun to have a picture with the big cock. But also, there's the sex.
Let's talk about the music, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just a load of like porn through the ages. It's all right. It's quite funny. But
are you a fan of vintage?
It's not insightful.
Are you a fan of vintage?
Why not? Well, when you say vintage, are we talking like 70s porn mustache, or are we talking Greeks?
No, like 70s.
Greeks fucking on an urn. Oh yeah.
60s, 70s tash.
Sure.
No, because things like when it's like 70s, you're like, that person's probably like 80 now, and it kind of ruins it.
Why would you think about that?
Because you're like,
aren't you in the moment appreciating them there in the moment with their mustaches and hairy bushes?
Yeah, no, that doesn't really do anything for me.
It doesn't do anything for you?
No.
Okay. Sure.
No, not a fan of mustaches. But yeah. So that was TwitchCon. So Ed, what have you been playing this week?
That's for next time.
Yeah, next time, because we have been playing some things. I was playing a bit of, which I will play more of. I've been playing a little bit of Divinity Original Sin on Switch. When I say a bit, 20 minutes.
No, you didn't. You played the training part, died, and thought, fuck this, and switched off your Switch, and then sat on your phone for the rest of the journey.
No, I got past the training part. I did get past it. I did die 3 times in the training area. I just kept getting too close to the oil when setting things on fire. But yeah, no, I will play that. And you obviously have played some Triangle Strategy, which is also a bed game.
There.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about that next week. But it's I'm enjoying it so far.
Excellent. All right. Well, that was our TwitchCon. Check out my Instagram, Twitter, all the socials, and Ed's as well. There will be more stuff being posted from the weekend because Ed's got loads of pictures as well that he hasn't uploaded, or I think he has uploaded now, but hasn't been published yet. So yeah, go and keep your eye out for those.
If you say so.
Not all of them. All right. So Ed, how can we find you?
You can find me on.
I was going to actually before I was going to have like questions from the chat because I did see a great question earlier. I thought if anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask. Someone said who's the best hugger?
AMA.
Who's the best hugger?
Ooh. Moni was a good squeeze, but I did also run up to her and say, "Hello, you little Austrian bitch," and then squeeze her, which I think she appreciated. Amanda is a very good hugger. And Nincompoop is also a very good hugger.
Yeah, Nincompoop is. I think mine would be Party Squads because it's so nice being able to hug someone like my height. It was brilliant, and it's very rare that happens. It's weird. Yeah. One day I'll hug someone who's taller than me, like much taller than me, and then I can see what that's like. Because Party Squads is, we believe, a tiny bit taller. Although I think he had heels on, so not quite sure. There is a photo though where I'm much taller, and I like that. But yeah, if anybody has any other questions, let us know from the con. But if not, we will call it a night, and we're not going to be doing any gaming afterwards today. We're going to save that for next week. It
is far too hot to be sitting on screen with the lights.
I've got 2 computers turned on right now. Got my streaming PC and my main one. I'm dying to turn one of them off. But yeah, well, I think that's it. Stray has just come out as well, so I imagine we'll be talking about that next week.
Yes, I'm going to stream Stray next week, next Tuesday. So I think lots of people are already streaming it. I saw earlier it was the 4th most watched category on Twitch, above loads of others. It was like 70,000 viewers at one point.
Wow.
So Stray is incredibly popular, and it only came out yesterday.
It's getting great reviews.
It's getting great reviews, and also it's getting a lot of attention from pets. So there are lots of very fun tweets of cats watching Stray.
I really need to play it where my parents' dog is, because she goes crazy at the TV whenever there's like anything that's an animal on there. So a cat walking around and meowing, she will be you'll be unplayable. Like my mum has had to stop watching a certain TV program because there's loads of animals on it, and like Millie just goes nuts and starts barking and jumping at the screen. She can't watch it.
Just steal her and bring her back.
Yeah. Oh, final question. Huffle says, what was your favorite experience of it all? Yeah, it was just me. It was meeting people, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not just saying that for the sake of it. Like, it was just so nice meeting everybody. That was the genuine thing.
Yeah. Like, I think the best bit of the con for me was the drag showcase, for both the performers, but also just the general atmosphere of like being there in that moment was really fun. But yeah, the whole thing of the weekend was literally just meeting everyone for the first time and getting those hugs.
Yeah. So check out the video that will go up at some point of the walk around with some music over the top, so you can't hear Ed swearing at people. All right. So, Ed, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitch and on Twitter at ed_nights with an N.
And are you writing? Am I right in thinking that you've got a couple of articles on TwitchCon coming up at some point?
I do. Ooh. So keep an eye on Eurogamer. I'll be doing some writing
as always. And
I've already done one as well, which is on the new charity feature. So Twitch have now launched Twitch Charity, which is in beta at the moment, US only, just for a few streamers, but it will be made worldwide soon. And it's basically a sort of inbuilt tool where you can do charity streams directly from your dashboard. So you can select your charity and then collect donations, not from bits and subs. I may have got that wrong in the story and I changed it, but you can collect money from donations directly in your stream, and it's all done through PayPal. So they're really pushing charity streams, which is nice. But there will be more from TwitchCon specifically in the next couple of days.
Excellent. All right, and yeah, you can find me twitch.tv/biggestbennis and biggestbennis1 on the old Twitter. And YouTube, Biggest Bennis, TikTok, Biggest Bennis, I think. Or my Big Bennis. No, Biggest Bennis. Yeah, you'll just go to biggestbennis.com. There's some links on there. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. We will be back next Thursday. So we are recording this on a Wednesday to just this week. But next week we will be back on Thursday. I don't think we have any plans, do we?
I don't think so.
So I doubt it. I'll probably be working.
No.
Brilliant. Okay, so I'll see you next week. Be there.
Be there.
Or die.
Get
fucked.
swapped.
Yes, swapped.
Get fucked. Wow.